Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica, October 28, 2025.
Yeah, man, we're right beside the sea, man. We're right at the safari, so we're going to feel the first phase, right? Let's see.
The northern edge of Hurricane Melissa's eye wall, bringing some of its most violent winds, produced flash flooding and storm surges as it's pushed onto Jamaica's southern coast on Tuesday morning. The hurricane neared landfall as a Category 5 storm, with 185 miles per hour winds, only 5 miles short of the most intense Atlantic hurricane on record. The storm's intensification, with sustained winds stronger than those of Hurricane Katrina at its peak, came with dire warnings from officials. Jamaica, this is not the time to be brave. Desmond McKenzie, the minister coordinating disaster response. Don't bet against Melissa. It is a bet we can't win. Tens of thousands of Jamaica's 2.8 million population displaced. Holness has said there are 850 shelters across the island, enough for more than 20,000 people. But Colin Bogle, a Mercy Corps advisor based near Kingston, said most families have decided to shelter in their homes, despite the government ordering evacuations in flood-prone communities. Many have never experienced anything like this before, and the uncertainty is frightening, he said. There is profound fear of losing homes and livelihoods. Hurricane hunters find that Melissa continues to strengthen and is now one of the strongest Atlantic hurricanes on record. Catastrophic winds, life-threatening flash flooding and storm surge are occurring on the island of Jamaica. Extensive infrastructure damage and long-duration power outages hit Jamaica. Melissa is forecast to make a second landfall in Cuba tonight, then impact the Bahamas Wednesday into Thursday, before nearing Bermuda by Friday. The majority of big buildings in Jamaica continued to have power, while a few others were relying on generators. Daryl Vaz, the country's Minister of Energy and Transportation, said at a news conference. Melissa is particularly dangerous as it intensified extremely quickly and is moving at the sluggish speed of a person running, meaning it will hover over Jamaica for longer, compounding the damage. The storm's winds escalated from 70 miles per hour to 140 miles per hour, 225 kilometers per hour, in just a day, one of the fastest intensifications on record in the Atlantic Ocean. Residents at the U.S. Navy base at Guantanamo Bay were ordered to move into shelters on Tuesday, ahead of Hurricane Melissa's expected arrival. The installation's community gym, and the recently built K-12 school were serving as two major shelters for many of the remaining 3,000 residents on the base. Melissa is expected to hit Jamaica in the next few hours, and then move across southeastern Cuba as an extremely dangerous major hurricane. Those headed to shelters were told to bring their own bedding and a 3-day supply of ready-to-eat food and water in small coolers.
What do you mean? Alright, see that post said the last longer than I expected. Watch out.
Melissa bring 15 to 30 inches of rainfall to Jamaica, the National Hurricane Center said, while the storm surge could reach up to 13 feet above ground level areas close to where the storm makes landfall. Power is out for about 240,000 customers, or 35% of all customers of the country's utility company Jamaica Public Service. Daryl Paz, Jamaica's Minister for Energy, Science, Telecommunications and Transport, said at a press conference. Hurricane Melissa's eyewall began approaching the shore of Jamaica, and officials warned this was the last chance for residents to find shelter as wind speeds are expected to rise quickly after the eye passes. Wind speeds strengthened to 185 miles per hour, tying the record for the second strongest Atlantic hurricane on record. The strongest was Hurricane Allen in 1980, which sustained speeds up to 190 miles per hour. The extraordinary intensification of Hurricane Melissa is likely to be a symptom of the rapid heating of the world's oceans. Melissa is the fourth storm in the Atlantic this year to undergo rapid intensification of its wind speed and power. This sort of intensification has been linked to the human-caused climate crisis, which is causing oceans to become hotter. Researchers at Climate Central, a non-profit organization that analyses climate science, found that during Melissa's rapid intensification, the storm drifted over exceptionally warm ocean waters that were 1.4 C hotter than average. These conditions were made up to 700 times more likely because of the climate crisis, the organization said.
Like this.
Melissa formed as a tropical storm in the Caribbean on Tuesday, October 21st, before strengthening into a hurricane on Saturday. Melissa is set to become the strongest hurricane Jamaica has ever seen since record-keeping began, the Associated Press reported. For Jamaica, it will be the storm of the century for sure, Anne-Claire Fontaine, a tropical cyclone specialist at the World Meteorological Organization, told reporters at a press briefing, labeling the upcoming storm a catastrophic situation for the island nation.
Look at that sea level, yeah, boy.
Forecasters at the NHC warned Jamaicans to seek shelter, predicting flash flooding, landslides, destructive winds and life-threatening storm surge on Jamaica's coast. These conditions could damage infrastructure, isolate communities on the island and cut off power and communications on the island. Total structural failure is possible near the path of Melissa's center.
That's the sea.
Oh yeah. She on the beach, she real upset.